You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris. Good day. How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty darn well. What the heck is going on today? I'm glad you asked. You know who has a birthday today?
A lot of people.
Bruce Dern.
Oh, yeah. Love him.
Bruce Dern.
From the movie The Burbs.
Yeah, I think my favorite Bruce Dern story is he was the first actor to shoot and kill John Wayne in a movie.
Really?
The movie was The Cowboys. And it was a movie. It was just a movie. But he was just swamped with hate mail.
Really?
Like in real life, yeah.
They're mad because you can't kill John Wayne.
Shot and killed the Duke.
Love Bruce Dern.
Here's another superstar from the old-timey world of professional wrestling. One of my favorite wrestler names ever, Gorilla Monsoon.
Oh, yeah.
Never heard of that.
It's the perfect name.
It is a perfect
You know,
name.
I was
When
just-
you guys give me my child that you're working on,
gonna be
I'm
little.
naming it Gorilla Monsoon
Farris.
Jr.
Junior even.
Great name. Speaking of names, also born this day, George, the third king of Great Britain. What stands out to me, the only reason I mention it, George the Third, it seems to me back in the 1800s, whatever, because he was right there between George the Second and George the Fourth.
Really?
There was just a real shortage of names in Great Britain back then.
Yeah, they're all Georges. And Elizabeths.
George Foreman. What else is going on here? Was 1896. Henry Ford takes his very first Ford motor car through the streets of Detroit.
Oh, I bet people were freaking out about that.
Yeah, and he was also the first recorded ticketing for exhibition driving. 1969, love this story too. 22-year-old, and there isn't even a name in this story, it just says 22-year-old man. This guy sneaks into the wheel pod of a passenger jet in Havana, Cuba.
Oh, I remember that.
Survives a 9-hour
that's
flight
right.
to Spain, despite the lack of oxygen and cold temps at 29,000 feet.
Holy cow.
Jeez.
Landed, he got out, he went, ta-da!
Look what I did.
No, this guy needs to be on money.
Yeah.
He's like a hero. There should be movies. There should be parades. What an amazing story.
Yeah, it's quite the feat.
Amazing story.
Well, Dan, thank you for that update.
I'm all
I would
jacked up.
love
Let's
to
just
say
keep
that our
rolling here.
program is brought to you by a notary of some sort, but now that the cat's out of the bag on that. If you missed that, by the way, yesterday was quite the experience. We do have a podcast version of yesterday's program that you can listen to, and you can hear the story about why we had all these silly little notary ads over the last month or so.
Silly.
I mean,
They were amazing.
Hello.
potentially award-winning.
Wait, what? Do I smell Eddie Award? I think I might.
We may actually become members of that organization just for
To submit.
This
Yeah,
campaign.
even if we don't win, somebody has to listen to them, which would be, it'd be kind of funny. Again, thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris.
If you have a credit card, we'd like to help you make sure it's the best credit card for you. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest rate and see what you get for points or perks. Then go to bettercreditcards.com to see if we can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it could help you get a better credit card. If you don't have a credit card right now, you can check us out too at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Time now for Ranger Dan's Critter Corner.
Well, I'm rough, tough, and ready. I'm a heck of a man. Eat my beans and weenies from a frying pan.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I love to wrestle bears and lasso ducks. Run over possums in my government truck.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves all the campers and the animals too. If you're picking on critters, I'm coming after you.
He's Ranger Dan.
Yes, sir. I'm Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Oh, look at you two, my favorite little smalls. Jim, how are you? Fantastic.
Jim.
Heidi!
Ranger Dan.
Hey, let me show me those peepers. Come on. Lock a little eyeball with me here.
Oh, it's getting steamy in here.
I've been thinking this through. You like Legos? I like Legos. What say you and me build a little something together? Oh, I'm just funning. Take it easy there, Ron.
It's okay.
Speaking of fun, let's talk about otters. What's funner than a big bucket of otters? Not much.
Big
Not
bucket
much.
of otters.
Two
Otters
big
is
buckets
fun.
of otters.
Nature's little playful little darlings,
They
aren't
are
they?
so cute.
Who doesn't love watching otters?
I love
watching
watching
otters.
We ought to watch more otters.
And here's the thing. Did you know? I don't think you did, and that's why I'm here. There are 13 different species of otter.
Wow.
Did not know that.
The one we're most familiar with in these here parts is known as the North American river otter,
Nice.
who can generally be found in rivers in North America.
That makes a lot of sense, I guess. Yeah.
Otters, as you might know, love to eat shelled critters, such as clams.
Okay.
But otters really aren't equipped with the strength to open that stuff up without a little help.
Huh.
So they'll turn to rocks
Yeah, they
primarily.
can bang them with a rock.
They use tools to open them up. In fact,
Holy cow.
when hunting food underwater, an otter will often stash a little rock in the skin under its arm.
Really?
Yep, it's a true story. Other fun otter facts here. Otters have up to 1 million hairs per square inch. It's the hairiest, furriest little critter on God's green earth. It's pretty amazing. In fact, there are 2 layers of fur on an otter. An undercoat and then longer hairs that we can see. Now, the layers manage to trap air next to the otter's skin, which keeps the otter dry and warm.
The one that we can see, is that called the otter coat?
I gotta tell you what, Jim. I don't know if I can get through this program without you chiming in. I think it's an interesting note. I think Little Radio Rangers and something you might want to try, on those occasional real chilly nights when old Ranger Dan's hunkering down for the evening. Every now and again, I like to bring in maybe a dozen or so otters and strip down to my skivvies and tape them otters all over my whole darn body and just kind of lay around by the fire, and I'll think to myself, you know what? The ranger life is the life for me. Well, that's all the time we have, Little Radio Rangers. You know the drill. What doesn't kill you makes strong, except for bears and murder hornets. Those will kill you every darn time. This is Ranger Dan. I'd say it with me.
Yes, sir.
Each month you have these things called bills. They have to be paid. It's part of being an adult, not the fun part, but it's important. So if you can find a way to get some of these expenses, it makes that bill day a little better. At InsuranceChicken.com, we'd like to help. Our site allows you to see what several different companies have to offer, all in one place. Check out great insurance deals at InsuranceChicken.com. Is it time for you to cross the road? See if we can save you money each month at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris, and it's time right now for a little bit of water cooler talk. And what are we going to talk about today, Dan?
Well, let's see. Summer is, coming up here, and there's been a lot of questions about, like, sporting leagues. We're getting into something huge in just a moment, but I just wanted to kind of brush over this. Let's play ball.
Yeah.
From the city of Sioux Falls, not quite a week ago, city officials have green-lighted. They've said, okie dokie, sports leagues to begin using city fields and diamonds for summer activities. There's going to be some different rules, regulations having to do with that whole darn Wuhan flu thing, but whatever. At least we're making some nice progress. I'm
taking steps in the right direction.
Yes, that'll be cool. And also something, John, you started putting together here recently, and looks like it's going to come to fruition. So take it away, brother.
There was a press release that was sent out Monday. Now, let me think here. Tuesday is when it was sent out. That said the Sioux Falls JCs will not be holding their 53rd, 54th annual.
Been half a century.
Yeah, over half a century. They've been doing the fireworks at the fairgrounds, at the WH Lions Fairgrounds. And this year, because of COVID-19 concerns, they decided, you know what, probably not a good idea to have an event where we've got thousands of people squeezed into the grandstands, doing things like face painting and that kind of stuff. Kids petting zoos and that kind of. Well, it was animals that they were petting. It wasn't kids. That sounded weird to say it that way. So,
what, like just stray raccoons and stuff?
No, it was the Herpetological Society. It's snakes and tortoises and stuff like that. But so they decided, and probably rightfully so, many organizations decided we're not going to do that this year. So we found out about a month ago that this was coming because we've been involved the last 6 years. We play the music soundtrack on Sunny every year. We actually create the patriotic music soundtrack that goes with that. And then I've been the MC for 6 years, and I've been very honored to be chosen to do that. Thank you very much for having me do it. But when they were saying we're not doing this, we said, we kind of think we need to at least do the fireworks. So I reached out to Luz, the people who have shot the fireworks for years, asked them if it would be possible, and they got back to me and said, yeah, we want to do that. So we wouldn't say anything to anybody until it was announced by the JCs, and it was yesterday when it was announced that they were not doing that. We replied right away and said, and we are doing that. Now, we're not doing the whole thing. We're doing just the fireworks and the music on the radio. It's going to be a different event. It's going to be at a different location, but it's going to be in place of that event. And we do hope that next year they come back and do it. We have no ill will towards the JCs. We understand why they did what they did. I'm not upset with them, and we hope they're not upset with us. And, it's all should be a very positive thing. I want to say thank you to Grand Falls Casino and Golf Resort for being a part of this again. They have been for many years.
Yep.
I also want to say thank you to Market Beat. They're part of it for the first time this year. Huge thank you to Matt and the team over there. It's a great company based in Sioux Falls. It does things all over the place. And then also a huge thank you to our friends at Notoboom RVs, and they're a part of this for the first time this year. And I know that there are some other things that we're working on right now that are in the works, so we'll have more people joining us. And I want to say thank you to Gail at Big Paws Canine, because I reached out to her and said, hey, would you guys be interested in being involved in this? And they are going to be our nonprofit that we're working with. So the funds are going to go to the nonprofit. And then if we raise extra funds, and I'm encouraging people, hey, if you'd like to contribute, please do that. And we're going to be talking about what those extra funds do and what the folks at Big Paws Canine do. They do awesome stuff 365 days a year. So this is a big celebration we're going to have one day, the 4th of July, but we're going to talk about how you and other people can help 365 days a year through our friends at Big Paws Canine, and a lot of great things. We set up a page. If you want to follow us on Facebook, it's facebook.com/Sioux Falls Fireworks. I know, it's going to be hard to remember. Facebook.com/Sioux Falls Fireworks, and you can find all the info there. A big thank you to all of our sponsors. And Dan, thanks for giving me the opportunity during your portion of the program here.
Well, I only do it, John, because let me see. You own the radio station.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And I'm not stupid.
And I only do it because Heidi owns the radio station.
Well, here we are.
And I do whatever she tells me to do. All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show Bonus Hour with Dan Farris. 2020 has become quite an interesting year.
Many people have been cooped up for way too long.
We're excited to join hundreds of friends for a fun time in Cancun this October.
Hear awesome music from Belinda Carlisle, Cheap Trick, Billy Idol, and many more.
The seance is at the end of October, and we are ready for a vacation. I hope you will join us.
We've been to this event for many years, and it is so much fun.
Get more information and reserve your spot at radiotravelgroup.com.
That's radiotravelgroup.com.
Time now for our bright spot of news, brought to you by Paul's Designer Showroom on Lake Lorraine in Sioux Falls. And today we're going to visit with Allie Milliron, and she and I are friends on Facebook. And Allie, I saw something that you were doing on Facebook that I just thought was the coolest thing, making these little baskets. What was it called? Quarren Wine? What was it called?
Yes, it is exactly it. Quarren Wine.
Quarren Wine. Now, this is something that I saw in the post. You saw somebody else doing this and thought, what a fun idea. And the other person was even encouraging people, do this. Everybody do this. Tell me a little bit about what Quarren Wine is first.
So I came across it through an invite from a friend of mine who added me to the Facebook group. And what they do is they'll divvy up certain areas of South Dakota and Sioux Falls. And some people may or may not be comfortable with putting their address underneath the post. And what may or may not happen is random people will put together a basket, and it can be like candy, it can be like wine, face masks, bath bombs, whoever, maybe like kid stuff or things for dogs. So they just put together random baskets for fun and like ding dong ditch with them.
There. So then you just go to somebody you know or a random stranger?
You can do either or. I've done a couple people that I knew that I felt deserved it, and then I did some random ones as well. So we just kind of, just like Russian roulette or something, just randomly like pick one.
There you go. And I think it's just a neat idea to take a little bit of time, if you've got time right now, and if you got the resource to do it, to put a little basket together. Now, it's called Quarren Wine because a lot of them have wine in them, but if you want to do one for a family with pets, you could put pet stuff instead of wine. If you have a family with kids, and maybe you don't know if they drink or not, you could put kid stuff in there. And then, like she was saying, kind of like May Day. Back in the day, this is what May Day was. People would make May Day baskets. You could do the exact same thing. And I just thought it was really a fun idea, and thank you for doing that and drawing my attention to it.
Yeah, we got a group together and we all pitched in money for it, and then we were actually able to make a few of them because I didn't think I could do just one.
Well, and that's the thing. When I was looking at the posts, it looked like you guys did quite a few. Now, if folks would like to be involved in that, you said there's like a Facebook group for the Quarren Wine?
Yep, it's called SD Quarren Wine.
All right, so search for that on Facebook, and I'll try to find a link and throw it on our Facebook page. Now, Allie, let's talk a little bit about who you are and what you do when you're not saving the world one wine basket at a time. What do you do for a living?
When I'm not Quarren Wining, I am an inside sales associate for the Discovery Realty group with Keller Williams. So I reach out to maybe people like you or me or friends or family who may be looking to buy or sell a home this year. And then I can redirect them to some of my team leads. And then, just anybody who's looking to buy, sell, or invest.
That's awesome. So if somebody listening is thinking, you know what, maybe it is time to buy a home, or maybe it is time to sell my home, they could connect with you and you could get them in the right hands.
Right, and then rates are pretty good right now. So if you've been considering talking to a lender or maybe looking at selling, anytime's a great time.
Absolutely. Well, I will throw your information on our Facebook page as well. Allie, thank you very much for taking the time to chat, and thanks for doing what you're doing to maybe brighten the mood and make people a little bit happier at a time right now when a lot of folks need that.
Yeah, not a problem.
Again, Allie Milliron, and I've got a link to, I found the group here, I've got a link to the group, and I've got a link to her information on our Facebook page for today, facebook.com/sunnyradio and facebook.com/Sioux Falls News. This has been today's Bright Spot of News, brought to you by Paul's Designer Showroom on Lake Lorraine in Sioux Falls.
Small businesses are the heart of our community. As things get back to normal, I hope you'll go out of your way to do business with locally owned businesses in your area. We've been so pleased with the response of our gift card challenge that we're gonna keep this going. If you can, buy an extra gift card. You can use it yourself or give it to someone who needs a little help right now. When you buy a gift card, remember to post a photo on social media with hashtag giftcardchallenge. Learn more at giftcardchallenge.org.
And it's time right now for a little bit of entertainment news of the day with Mr. Dan Farris.
Hey, man. Celebrities? I think you know the drill here.
Fabulous.
Everybody fabulous. Oh, I did not want to touch this story with a 10-foot pole because
what's going on?
John just gets triggered, man.
Oh, what happened?
Carol Baskin. I see. For those of you unfamiliar, some Tiger King thing, that was all the rage. Carol, she has scored a major victory, actually. What? On her ongoing feud with Joe Maldonado, a.k.a.
Tiger King.
Joe Exotic.
Yeah.
This past Monday, a federal judge in Oklahoma has ruled in favor of Carol Baskin's Big Cat Rescue Corporation that now allows her to take control of the zoo formerly owned by Joe.
Wow.
Oh, that's
I know.
gonna sting.
Order is part of a $1 million trademark judgment that Mr. Exotic never fully paid.
Yeah.
Oh.
Then he kind of got busy going to jail for a while. So
Yeah, he's in the Slammarooty Toot Toot.
For supposedly trying to have her killed, but
Yeah, so for those of you who are following the bounce and ball, and from what I see on, social media and whatnot, apparently America isn't a huge fan of Carol's, but she just scored a huge coup here.
I hope that that justice is served. If that's what they decided, hopefully that is correct. And I'm going to just reserve my comments for later because I don't want to prove Dan right.
And which is why I'm not reading any more of this story.
But those of you who want to chat with me off the air about it,
there's just a quick little thumbnail sketch. I'm not going into detail.
So yeah, interesting stuff. Well, Dan, thank you for that report, sir.
You bet. Just trying to play it safe, John.
Yeah, I can tell. I appreciate that a bunch. It is the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris, now heard in stereo. I guess it always has been, and also available on a podcast. So if you miss any of the program, you want to catch up, you can find that podcast at the bottom of the page at sunnyradio.com.
If you have a credit card, we'd like to help you make sure it's the best credit card for you. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest rate and see what you get for points or perks. Then go to bettercreditcards.com to see if we can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it could help you get a better credit card. If you don't have a credit card right now, You can check us out too at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Thursday, June 4th. A melt-up in equity markets gained steam on Wednesday, carrying the S&P 500 up to a new 3-month high. The broad market index gained more than 1.5% by the end of trading to close just shy of the March high. Wednesday's action was driven by increasing confidence in the economic recovery, in turn driven by economic data. The ADP Moody's report on employment, often used as a proxy for the non-farm payrolls report, showed a far better employment situation than expected. The net number of job losses in May topped 2.75 million, about one-third as many as expected. The caveat is the ADP and the NFP reports, while tracking together over the long term, are often divergent, so investors are urged not to read too much into the data. Regardless, the recovery is on, so expect higher index prices over the coming days and weeks. You can get the Inside Track with Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com.